moment, and is #1 in the world. And right now it's pretty reasonable. So I think we should invade the British Isles at some point. So we're gonna build a library in Robin. Is anybody trading with us? Yes, the Celts are trading with us now. That's good news. So we're getting metal casting in 3 turns, and we're gonna build our workshop and a forge in Van Persie in 3 turns. Once we also finish the Colosseum, which will boost up our happiness. Oh, Maria's getting a lot of wonders lately. Or so it seems. Are they sending 2? No, they're just sending 1. They seem to have a lot of cargo ships. So back to nope. So it seems to be we're falling behind us. Yeah, we're 4th last. Huh, should we accept? We prefer to go it alone, Maria. So not much happening right now. The game's a bit boring, but I'm sure it'll get a bit interesting later on. So we still only have 2 military units, and we're about to finish our fort near the Rhine. I'm surprised they haven't declared war on us. Maybe that's because we're not such a nice looking country.
When pieces of bronze or gold or iron break, the metalsmith welds them together again in the fire, and the bond is established.
I don't know why this is a quote. I mean, they could have taken this from like a science textbook.
Welcome to the medieval era.
We are now in the medieval era. Time to build a workshop. And now let's take a look at where guilds are. Yeah, we're gonna go for polders. So we're gonna go currency and then polders. Gonna move our trireme up here, and we're gonna explore Scandinavia. We're about to finish our fort. I'm probably going to rush it next turn. Oh no, I think it's already done. Once it will be done, you guys will see what forts are. It's exactly what they are. They basically extend the territory like that. And they don't have to be connected to your territory. I can build a fort up here if I want, up here, or even on that island. It's really good for getting resources if you don't want to build a city all the way out there. So yeah, but it's also good for expanding your territory. So we have a fort there, and yeah, we won't be able to build a fort in Normandy now. No worries. As long as we have a fort here, we can sort of defend from any attacks from French and Germans. Then Denmark isn't really a threat. Although these are the Assyrians, I'll call them Denmark because they're supposed to be Denmark, but I don't have the DLC. Anyways, Denmark seems to be expanding into Scandinavia. I'm pretty sure Sweden is somewhere up there. We could build our first lumber mill. Oh, we could have built them for a while now, but I kept building farms. So yeah, in three turns we will have currency. Petra has already been built in a faraway land several turns ago, and the Celts have founded a 3rd city in Normandy. No, that's a different part. This is Normandy. I forgot what this place is called, region, but I'll be sure to let you guys know in my next recording session. It starts with a B. I'm almost sure of it. But yeah, this place is also historically known to have a Celtic origin, Viking origin, sorry, more than a French one. But yeah, the Celts have settled 3 cities now on 3 different land
Better
masses.
is bread with a happy heart than wealth with vexation.
Oh wow, 3D5 me. So a unit needs orders. We're gonna keep exploring. We're gonna try to find Sweden. Said we found a barbarian. Ditto, although having the biggest army recently, is last place. I believe they only have 1 or 2 cities. Yeah, it seems like they only have 1 entire. Generally, spawning in Africa in these kinds of maps is really, really bad. It basically guarantees you won't win the game. I'm not trying to be racist here, but the problem here is that map somewhere ends about here, and you spawn there. In Europe, we basically didn't have any barbarian problems because look, there's nowhere for the barbarians to spawn, and even if they did spawn, other civs would take care of them. But here, down in Africa, there's just so much land, so it ends up looking like Scandinavia a bit, where there's a bunch of desolate, empty land. All these barbarians can start spawning, and then they keep coming up and they keep pillaging. Like, I guarantee you, at least one of these tiles is pillaged right now. And that's the problem of spawning in North Africa. And I believe it's the same problem in Scandinavia. So basically, Europe's the best place to spawn in Civilization 5. Okay, we've been damaged a bit, so we're gonna have to head south for repairs. Robin is growing in 2 turns, and so is Van Persie. So our happiness is really gonna take a plummet there. Wow, we're really gonna be struggling with happiness in this game. It's a bit of a shame. I mean, the guy who created this map should have added at least 1 more luxury resource for the Netherlands. It's only truffles. I mean, that's pretty bad. Alright, so now we have a choice. Guilds in 5 turns. We should probably build another worker. Because, trust me, polars are really, really powerful. I'm gonna move this guy down here. Wow, even in the Iberian Peninsula, which is mostly civilized, there's still pillaged tiles from barbarians. So, if this small amount of territory can cause so much damage, just imagine this huge expanse. What they're doing to Carthage and Egypt and Morocco, perhaps. I think Morocco's in this map. I'm not sure for certain. So we're gonna leave our scout here, and we're gonna go. There's not really much we can do for 4 more turns. Yeah, we're gonna move here. Alright, time to check Info Addict. So our score, we are the orange. So our score is pretty bad. Our military is horrendous. Our net gold is doing better. Our GMP is 3rd in the world, which is pretty good. Our treasury is growing. Trade route's not as good. Happiness, horrible. Science should be better. Production, surprisingly, we're not doing too bad. Population is way down there. Who is this? France. Cities we all like to visit, none of mine. Wow, France and Orleans. Oh, Cologne has been built. Wow, Germany's really, really settling on France. So it seems like a French-German war is inevitable. And an English settler is being sent, not into our lands. Once we get a bigger military, we could probably start opening up our borders, because realistically, there's nowhere you can settle here. So we're gonna move our trireme. I'm surprised there haven't been any conflicts yet with us, considering the state of our civilization. So now we are going to build a forge, and we're gonna move our worker down here, and this fella down here. We're gonna make them wait for 1 turn, and now we're gonna go crazy on polders.
Kaire kede, Alexandro seimi, hyoston anakton kai ekonoston theon.
And that is Alexander the Great. Not so great in this game, unless there's a lot of city-states. And he is in Athens. Pretty good start. Of course, Venice is the best start. Let me just switch. Perhaps the best, yeah, probably the best start, which is why they're fourth, even though they're a city-state.
The merchants and the traders have come.
Their profits are
preordained.
preordained. That is a great quote. We can now build polders, which is great news. And I'm going to go to Worldview more often once we finish these polders. Let me just give you a preview of what they look like while they're being built. So it seem like circles. That's not a fence. You'll see those polders. They look really, really nice. So now we're going to switch to machinery, which is... switch to strategic view so we can switch. Machinery gives us 8 production in that spectrum. We only have 22 here. Usually you're expected to have at least over 30 by now. By 300 AD. So we're going to finish a library here, which is going to give us a science boost in Robin. Robin's population has increased quite quickly. Alright, so we're going to choose production. And we're going to buy a workshop here, actually, to speed up production. As you can see, it has drastically improved production. And we're going to build a coliseum because our happiness is worrisome. We're going to press X turn, and we're going to see the progress of our polders. They're pretty much the same, but they're going to look fabulous when we're done, especially when this whole place is covered in polders. Wow, this really is a tight squeeze. 2 cities and almost no breathing room. Our social policies, we haven't had a social policy in a while. Now, I think what we're going to be going for is a diplomatic victory. So I think our next... Yeah, I think diplomatic victory is the wisest of them all, because if we become friends with a lot of city-states like Geneva, although Geneva gives us faith, so that's not really that good. We're definitely going to keep our science up. We want to keep our science up. Our population is a bit disappointing. I mean, world-class cities about 16 population. We're only at 10. Still better than London, but should be much better. I don't think we can build we can't build the Hanging Gardens. Oh, the Celts have finished Borobudur. And they have Confucianism. Oh, that's gonna be... Because this entire region doesn't have a religion, except for Venice. But this entire region does not have a religion. And then these two relatively close capitals have very different religions. This one is 30 pressure, and this one is 30 pressure as well. So it's gonna be interesting to see these two religions compete for the Northwest. So we're gonna go ahead and build a national epic. We're making a merchant, a writer, and a grain engineer. Oh, I believe we have finished our... Oh, yes, we have finished our polders. Let's take a look. So, yeah. These aren't colorful polders. Usually, they're supposed to be colorful. And they're supposed to have windmills on them. But for some reason, these do not have windmills or are colorful. Which is strange. They're supposed to be, but... Huh. No, maybe it's just randomization and the other ones will be colorful. So I'm just going to move this guy right here, and we're going to move him right. So this worker is going to be working on that farm, polar, and production, lumber mill, and these giants are going to be working on different polders. So I'm not sure if...
Tu nous déranges. Prépare-toi à la guerre.
Oh, we have our first war. And our first military conflict has begun. The French, of all people, have declared. Okay, we're switching our tactics. We're no longer attacking the trebuchet. We're taking out the pikemen, so that they can't physically damage. They can't physically take our capital. Okay. Oh, this is gonna be a tight one. They might take the city.